In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to completely automate new leads that come in through CallRail and have them get exported as new leads into your CRM. In today's case, we're going to be using Podio, which is very popular in the real estate investing world. And I actually use this exact system in my own real estate wholesaling business. And yeah, it's very, very effective and it's pretty cool because it will also transfer the actual call recording into the CRM and then also summarize that call using AI, letting you know exactly what happened and pushing that into the CRM as well. So no more manually inputting leads when they come in through CallRail. They should be completely automated. And yeah, let's get right into the video. So we're going to be using Zapier today, and Zapier is a very popular automation software. And to be honest with you guys, this is a very, very, very simple automation. Okay. So, I'm just gonna list a few key features that CallRail offers. And then what they pretty much do is track phone calls. You can set up different phone numbers for different marketing leads. And then when somebody calls that lead, you can set up, or when they call that number, you can set up different call flows. So what that would mean or look like is, let's say that you have a mail piece that you are marketing for your real estate wholesaling company. When somebody calls that lead, it will actually get transferred into CallRail having a different phone number, and then you can route that phone number to call a various number of different people, different phones that you might have in your office. You can route it to go to call recordings. You could route it to go to AI voice agents. Very powerful tool, but most importantly, you can take that information, record it, and directly correlate it to your CRM. Okay. So the power of this API integration is essentially what we're doing is we're taking the API from CallRail and then we're taking the API from Podio, giving it to Zapier, and then creating a system or an equation that says, hey, when this happens, go ahead and do this. And if you guys don't know what an API is essentially just like a password or a key, allowing a different software or application to be able to control another one. Okay, so for example, in today's example, we're basically able to control Podio and CallRail because we have given those APIs to an external software, which then is allowed to do things on the back end of the software. Okay. So then that gets into the next step, which is Zapier. Zapier is like a no-code automation solution. It's very, very powerful in the AI automation world. And you can pretty much, using all these APIs, connect a bunch of different applications, have them talk to each other, and just create these really cool automations and sequences. Lead generation process, that's essentially what we're doing is as the call comes in, we want to use the API in Zapier to then create a new lead in Podio. Okay. And that's pretty much it, guys. So let's get right into the tutorial, okay? And it's very, very simple, okay? So the first step is you're going to open up Zapier and create a free account. And then you're going to want to start this sequence as a new call that comes in through CallRail, okay? And what you can do is you can configure this. If I go ahead and edit it, we'll be able to go inside and see. And what you'll see is that I picked a certain account name that I want to configure. And then essentially what I'm doing is I'm pretty much triggering a new event. That's it. So we're just saying anytime a phone calls in or somebody completes a phone call, we are going to trigger an event from Zapier. Okay. And then it's just kind of set up on my Zapier account. And that's pretty much the only thing we're doing. We're just basically telling CallRail, we're saying, hey, whenever a new lead comes in, go ahead and let us know, send it to Zapier, and then we'll be able to take that information and do as we wish. And that's it. You just pick the account, and that's it. You're literally ready to go, okay? So then we're going to create a new item, and this specific item is going to be Podio. And what we're going to do in Podio, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, but it's actually very, very, very simple, okay? We're going to pick the organization, and you're going to have a lot more options here because essentially what we're doing with the original Zap is all of the information that CallRail can provide you will be in this specific Zap. So you're pretty much, again, just saying, let's pull all this information from CallRail, and then now let's go into Podio and figure out exactly what we want to do with that information. Now, again, guys, this will work with any CRM application. So you don't need to do this to Podio if you are working on something like Salesforce or just really any other CRM. You can create that, and you're going to get a very similar setup as this, okay? So what we're doing is for the action event is we're actually going to create an item. And then when we get into the configuration tab, it's very, very simple. Essentially, all we're going to do is, let's say that this person, Jay Schlimbaum, called the lead, okay? You're essentially filling out all of the information that it literally pulls from your Podio, and the exact same thing will happen with any other CRM because Zapier is already pretty automated and pretty well known. So if I go into one of my lead forms, okay? So for example, we have a lead form here. You'll see this is how I have my CRM set up, okay? This is how I have Podio set up. And you'll see that I have the full name, the lead reference, lead for the afternoon, offer info, follow-up date. We have the property info, literally recording of the call, and then we have notes for exactly what happened. Okay, so when we go back to Zapier, all of these things are literally here. We have the lead status, the offer info, the contact, the follow-up date, the follow-up end date, the first name, the phone. Literally everything that we have in Podio is now here. So essentially what we can do is just add A and B together. So, and what I mean by that is, for lead status, we're just going to put in as a new lead because that's just me telling it to create it and mark it as a new lead. But for example, this follow-up date, I had it set to pretty much start the follow-up date whenever it was created. So that way, when I went back into Podio and the lead came in, we knew that it came in that day. The follow-up day should be for that day. And then, of course, I have it set up so that if ongoing days happen, you can see what might be past due. So then you could wake up the next day and it might be in your past due. And then I'm just filling out the first name and the last name, or the first name of the caller, and we're literally pulling this information from the CallRail. And I'm going to use last name as an example. If I click this plus button, you'll see that all of this information got inputted from CallRail. And you'll see it literally has everything from the call recording, from the device, from any notes that might have been taken through CallRail, the phone number that it was calling, the tracking phone number, the agent's email. I mean, pretty much anything that's in CallRail is there, and literally all you're going to do is connect them. Okay, so as what I've done is I've added the phone number, I've added the first name, I've added the property information, and in the property information, I've added something called a transcription, okay? And with the transcription, I'll go back in CallRail and show you, but essentially there's another feature that CallRail just released, which is literally an AI transcription of the entire conversation. And then it gets even better. They have a call summary through that AI feature. So essentially what happens is, I'll go back into this Podio. It automatically got created from Zapier. The entire call conversation was right here. Okay. So literally, you got the agent, you got the seller. You go all the way down, you have literally the call recording. So you could go in and call that person or listen to the call recording from that specific call. And then you literally have a summary via AI. So literally what you could do is, as these new leads come in, if your agents are calling them, or if it's just a one-man team, you can say, oh, let me see what happened yesterday. This is what happened. Was this guy interested? Was this a good lead? Now you can go in here and start working right away. And that's pretty much it, guys. You can literally set this thing up in a matter of 20 minutes and have every call that comes in through CallRail automated, and literally track things like their name, their phone number that they're calling from, adding the transcript of the call, whatever it is, getting added to your CRM. And that's literally it, guys. It's a very, very simple automation. Anybody that has zero AI automation could pretty much do this by themselves. But if you guys want to take this to another level, okay, and you want to advance these automations, you can actually contact me down in the description. You can check out my website. I do custom automations for businesses using no-code tools similar to this. and pretty much get everything automated. And of course, you guys can see the power of automating something like this, because literally you no longer have to make mistakes by inputting leads. It's being done, through these softwares. Okay, so again, just some key takeaways. You're exploring the different call tracking options that Call Tools has. You're setting up the APIs, adding it to Zapier, and then go ahead and creating an automation. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to leave a comment, and I appreciate you guys watching as always. And as always, peace out.